Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello once again and welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and you're watching episode 61. And starting with my first poem, this one's called Then the Karma Came. Picture that aisle on the day of the wed. A piece of paper marriage is, some have said. Picture a child, the last to be born, deprived to be loved by his dad like the norm. Since that paper was marriage and made to be torn. For another he left her, the last son faced scorn from the lover his father chose over his mother. The young lad discovered conflict at its best. The more time he'd invest in the girl child of his new stepmom, although it was platonic as both were so young. She chastised that boy said to be her stepson, so from that woman the daughter would run. The stepmom caused the wedge between father and son. She'd delete his text messages as fast as they come, so his father would never see them to reply. So the young lad had not heard from him, and he'd wonder why, though the stepmom met karma, and the truth met the eye. And moving on to my second poem, this one's called The Comfort Zone in the Chaser. The comfort zone said come back home one day to the chaser. He turned and said, from you I fled to make my future greater. What's this you speak? Come take a seat, the comfort zone replied. The chaser said, if I don't act, the dreams I have will be denied. But something I'd attract through action. The comfort zone collapsed then and grabbed 10 seconds to recompose. What a food for thought, like cheese on toast. You speak, Mr. Chaser. I see it's your nature to manifest. Correct, he replied. I invest in my mind. If I stay with thee, the less I would grind. But this is nothing to take personal. But the light can't come in unless the curtains are pulled. The comfort zone then choked, then gulped a glass of water. One thing I can't knock, he said, is the way that you were brought up. For in me some have been caught up to the extent they never leave. Hence why the finer things in life I guess I'll never see. But you, Mr. Chaser, have proved to me that you're indeed a different pedigree. He poured them some champagne, then raised his glass and said, a toast to your legacy. And moving on to my third and final poem of the day, this is called I'm Vernon from the Coal Mine. Cardiff Central's not my city, but for 6 weeks was my home. To calm the nerves, some folks drink whiskey. I drift the thoughts inside my dome. When each show date has arrived, my profession is an actor. It beats the 9 to 5. Self-belief's a major factor, something that I keep. My faith is like a long jump, known to take a leap. Each show we did was sold out. At the end they rose from seats to stand up and applaud. We were striking the right chord. The bliss feeling was sweet. Might I add, I played the lead. The playwright was Tony Wright, bringing topics that we need. Our untold stories brung to light. With meaning like a parable, magic was created by himself and Robbie Marable. In the play some points were stated, known to raise a brow or two. The crowd was educated, each scene so powerful. I was a black man in the coal mine. For research I went the whole 9, changing music in my playlist to music from the old time. So if you ask me my name, I'd say I'm Vernon from the coal mine. And there you have it, your poetry fix from me for this week. I hope you enjoyed. Until next week, short and sweet. Take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.